Hello, for this video, I'm going to be talking to those of you who are doing your final project via a video. So if you're presenting face-to-face in class, you do not need this information. So let's talk a little bit about making a video for your final project. Don't forget that on Blackboard, I have taken the time to find some of the best examples from previous semesters and post them for you. They're there for a reason. I've also tried to provide an explanation as to what makes that video a standout video or what makes it special. Do take a second, at least look at one or two of them as a group to get food for thought. All right, so moving on to virtual video presentation tips. Now, some of this may have been covered in an earlier class, but it can't hurt to review things more than once just to get you ready to make your video. First of all, when shooting your video, don't forget that you need to think about how to include an audience, whether it is a real audience or not. You can talk directly to the camera. You could use something like Zoom to where you can have people attending virtually. You could have people in the room with you, family or friends, or be at your field placement. So when it comes to this idea of engagement, yes, you can have family or friends and they can serve as students. I don't recommend that you have actual group members serving as students because everyone needs to have a role as a teacher. However, I do have one video posted on Blackboard where they did a good job of rotating and taking turns being teacher and student. So you're welcome to check that out. Depending on your mentor teacher and the rules of their school, obviously you can do this at your field placement. Some of you, if you're an early childhood major, in fact, that is the recommended approach. If you teach using Zoom, you can have either all of your group members there, or you can even have extra people attend and act as your students. And remember, the added bonus is Zoom will record it for you. And if you're doing a Zoom class, you can still do things like Kahoot and other means of questioning. Or you can just talk straight to the camera like I'm doing right now, talking to the audience at home, and still perhaps have engaging questions or demonstrations for them. Don't forget to include visual aids, whether it is for a demonstration or for practice. And also make sure that I can actually see your visual aids. So if you take the time to make something, I'd like to be able to view it. I'd like to see both you and your visual aids. It's okay if it's not 100% of the time, but most of the time I'd like to see you and I'd like to see your visual aids. And again, even if your visual aids are great, I'd still like to see your face from time to time. You can also get outside if you'd like. So if there's something that you can do outside, you can also do it in a building in a classroom in McCracken. You can do it in your home, just about anywhere you like. If you're shooting a video, I often recommend that you shoot in landscape mode, not in portrait. You typically can't see as much in portrait. All right, so for actually shooting your video, here's the new information. Obviously, one of the easiest things you can do is just use your phone. Use your phone to make a video like you would in your personal life. Again, decide if you want landscape or portrait. I usually prefer landscape. Upload it straight from your phone to YouTube. You can use Screencast-O-Matic. That's what I'm using right now. They typically have a free trial that you can use. If you want to use Screencast-O-Matic, I'm going to walk you through that. So once you open up the app, the first thing you do is you click record. Then this is going to pop up and you're going to be like, oh my, what is all of this? So the next thing you're going to want to do is once you hit record, then choose your PowerPoint presentation or whatever it is that you want to show. And then this lovely thing right here will pop up. This is your toolbar. So from here you can hit record, stop, play, move backwards, move forwards, delete it if you don't like it, or done when you're finished. So again, this is going to be the most important part of Screencast-O-Matic. That is your toolbar. When you're all done, you hit done, and then this will come up. Whenever I hit done, I always click edit video. The reason is you want to fix your video box. So you can crop it if you want. You can also resize it. You can put it wherever you want it to be on the screen and make it a little bit bigger. If you don't do this step right here, fixing your screen, sometimes this is what happens. You end up being this teeny tiny picture in the bottom and it's really hard to see. That's the default. Okay, so using Zoom to make videos. Like I said, you can have all your teachers there. You can have additional students come on. If you want to do a PowerPoint presentation, one way that you can do this, so you hit share screen, you can do it usual where there's a box for you and there's a box for your video, or if you click on advanced and click on PowerPoint as a virtual background, choose your file, and then what it's going to do is it's going to cut out your background and put you in front of your PowerPoint slides. That's kind of a nice little professional touch. Pardon me there, I just got out of the shower and had wet hair. Okay, anyway, other methods for shooting your video. If you're great at PowerPoint, yes, you can use PowerPoint and you can insert webcam videos. I've seen it happen before, but here's what I got to say. It's going to take you twice as long as any of these other methods. And in the end, you don't actually have a video file to upload. And you can't really post it on YouTube or anywhere. So you're going to have to upload this entire file and it's going to take a while. So I don't really recommend it. Jamboard. I've seen some students use Jamboard for their presentations. I don't know much about it, but I know that the presentations turned out great. So if that's something that you'd like to look into, do know that that's acceptable as well. If you go to OU's website, you can see the links that you would go through to get there, to get to the digital toolbox on creating and sharing videos. It's going to give you some other options that you can use as well that are supported through OU. You can also use pretty much any program that you're used to using. As long as you're able to save it and share it with me, the format doesn't really matter that much. So saving your video, now that you're all done, you're going to need to save it in some sort of means that you can share it with me and the other students. YouTube is the absolute best. YouTube tends to have the fewest problems, and we'll talk about some ways of doing that in a moment. You can also use a Google Drive or OneDrive. Let's talk about this a bit more when it comes to submitting. Okay, you will be posting your videos in a discussion forum on Blackboard because typically you would present in class and we would get to see each other's presentations and share in the experience. That's a little bit harder to do when you submit videos. So I have you post them on the discussion forum, and then one of the ending assignments is to watch a couple of your peers and provide positive only feedback. So once it is set up and ready, you would go to here where it says discussions. I might even change it to make it a bit more stand out. It might say discussion board. It might even say upload your final project here. I'm not sure what the phrasing is going to be, but still, once you click on that, you'll be in the discussion board. You'll see it says final project videos. And again, the best option is YouTube. I've been through this for many years. That is the one that is easiest on your end and on my end. And then you simply upload the link. And then when I want to watch it, I click on your link. When other students want to watch it, they click on the link. If you're worried about privacy, here's what you can do. When you go to publish it, you can now choose to publish it as, I think it's called unlisted. And that means that it's not something that's going to pop up in people's searches. So that really keeps it private. Or you can give it a really unusual title that no one would ever look for. Or you can delete it once I'm done grading it. Or if you really, really want privacy and you're just thinking for whatever reason under the sun, you don't have to explain yourself. If you just don't want it out there for the class to see, you can email me the link. So you can list it as unlisted so no one else will see it. Just share the link with me via email, and then when I'm done with it, you can delete it, and then you know no one has seen it but me. Some cameras do have a nice option where you can just upload it straight from your camera as long as you have a YouTube account. Let's see, you can actually upload a whole video file into the discussion forum. I don't recommend it, and here's why. It is going to take much longer than you anticipate. On my end, my internet service is pretty slow, and a lot of times if you upload the whole file, when I go to watch it, it can take anywhere from 1 to 2 hours for it to download. So that really slows down my grading process. If I go to grade and I have to wait an hour for yours to pop up. Also on your end, it's going to take you a long time to upload it. If you're having issues in terms of how long it's taking for things to upload, this sounds silly, but it really does work. Do it in the morning. Universally, internet speeds are slower in the evening. If you go to upload your video in the evening, it might take 45 minutes. It might take an hour for it to upload, even to YouTube. Same thing in the morning, might take 5 minutes. So internet speeds are faster in the morning. Keep that in mind. So if you do decide to use a sharing service like Google Docs or OneDrive, make sure I have access to it. Because half the time when I go to click on those links, this is what I see. It seems you don't have access. Then I have to send you a message and say, please give me access. You have to figure out how to give me access and then come back and let me know that you've done it. So make sure I have access if it's on a sharing service. That's it. And again, this is just a snippet for those of you making videos, some tips on shooting a good video and uploading a good video. So thank you very much.